Hey, I tried to record this outside, but the neighbor would not stop coming in and out. It's like lately there's been so much drama and it's not mine. And my friend asked me the other night, "How you doing?" And I was like, "I'm good. I'm just dealing with drama that's not mine." And he was like, "How is that even possible?" And I'm like, I have neighbors. And everyone wants a therapist for free. And everyone's drawn to me. And some days I can, and some days I don't want to. And it's a matter of I do the work for myself to lift myself up. And I try to encourage others to do the same because tu problema es no mi problema. That sounds harsh. Your problem is not my problem. Because we all have issues we're dealing with, you know? And I have somebody that's dealing with a lot of things that don't pertain to them. And I had to tell them earlier, you keep giving and giving and trying to fix all these problems that don't belong to you. But in the end, when you need, who's giving back to you? And then you can't even give to yourself. So therefore you can't give anymore. I used to be an overgiver. I used to be an over nurturer. I used to be the go-to of if someone felt bad, they'd come to me so they could feel good. And in the end, it's exhausting because you can work to maintain your own energy, but as other people are coming into your energy and using yours, you're giving away your essence. And then it turns around and you're like, I don't have anything left to give. I was dealing with extreme burnout for the last couple weeks. And it's because people have been coming to me instead of me creating those boundaries going, I can't do this today, because I felt like that was wrong. And then I had to remind myself there is no right and wrong. And that's been something for me that's really hard for me to stomach, that there is no right and wrong. Because just because somebody does something I don't agree with doesn't make it wrong. If you're not harming other individuals by your actions, and I mean this in a sense of going out and, I'm sure you can follow me, unaliving people or just being vicious. If you're not going around in a hateful manner like that, then you're not doing something that is bad, let's say. Because eventually we get to a point where we have to protect ourselves again, and that's where I've been at with these neighbors, because the new neighbor moving in has helped me to remember who I am. The new neighbor moving in and the way that the old neighbor is reacting has shown me the people that I used to never entertain, which is the old neighbor. And it's funny because I felt so sorry for her. And pity, I even told my new neighbor, pity is such an awful weapon that people use. Feel sorry for me. I was never like this. They excuse their behavior because they're in a pitiful moment in their life. Just because you're going through certain things that are testing your faith and your ability to want to stay alive doesn't mean that gives you the right to be a jerk. And I'm seeing more and more of how this couple turns on the single mothers. They started by doing it to me, and I was forgiving about it. I was closed-minded about it, let's say. I just let it go because we all sit outside together. And now it's gotten to a point where I realize that everything about myself has changed due to one person that moved in, and she wanted to control the whole coop. She felt like, this is my nest. No, yours is over there and mine is over here, just like the other person's is over there. So there's a lot of controlling individuals that want to inadvertently take control of all aspects of everyone else's lives, but they can't even live their own life. And that's ironic to me. Why do you want to sit here and talk down on everybody else just to change other people's viewpoints? Because when it comes down to it, you don't need to gather a group to hate on people. Do it your damn self. Stop asking other people to join in your hate parade, because all that's doing is creating animosity all around. And the energy has been so staticky and loud and annoying lately, and it's like I feel it bubbling up. And even my neighbor, I see her, she's like, I'm about to lose it. And I'm like, I know, I feel it. But it's getting to a point to where I have to stay inside, which feels like a cage to me. But in a sense, that's also spirit going, hey, you aren't focusing on the right things right now. So let's go ahead and take you inside. Let's take you out of this whole equation and you focus on what it is you were supposed to be focusing on. Because Sheena, you're not doing what you need to be doing. And I don't know how many of you are getting the same message with insert your name here, that you're not standing up and following that protocol inside of you that says what you're here to do. Because right now we're here all to shine our light on the darkness that is like encroaching on the reality in which we exist in. If we don't push back, then what does that say? What becomes of the situation? Because the darkness only completely comes when it's done. The curtain call, the finale, that's it. But we're not ready for that. We're living beings that are meant to keep progressing and moving forward. Our ancestors showed us that wasn't a stopping point. Even though they're not really in the world we exist in anymore. I'm not saying their genes are not, but who they were, a visual aesthetic of who they are, it's here for us to see, but that culture no longer exists for us to visit and be a part of. Yes, there are generations that came afterwards that changed the way that things are now compared to what they were. Certain things have been lost. Certain information is no longer utilized. And then we have digressed as a society. So when we get to the point that we keep digressing, at what point are we going to progress in a productive manner rather than continue into digression to where we go into oblivion, and then that's curtain call. But that comes down to what are we putting our energy into? And that's where I was saying I'm being pushed inside almost like I'm in a cage. Luckily, it's a spacious cage, not just one little 5x5 cell that says, sit here and when you figure it out, I'll let you move. Because at this point, I am still blessed. I am still grateful. I'm still working every morning when I get up. Okay, get up in a positive mood. Okay, don't snap at anybody. Okay, don't rip no heads off today. Okay, just be calm, cool, and collected. And it's difficult. I get it. Because the more that you tell yourself today is going to be a good day, the more that something pushes to go, how hard are you willing to work for that? Are you willing to maintain that attitude? Even though I'm going to put you through A, B, all the way to Z in less than 8 hours and see if you can continue to hold on to that positivity. Because the more that you tell yourself, I'm getting out of this darkness, I'm getting out of the muck, I'm moving on, the more that something will come and continue to pull you back and say, nope, not today. But the harder you can pull back and fight against it. And it happens up here. It is a mental aspect of what we have to do to maintain what we want, to work towards the goal of where we're supposed to go. That takes a lot of strength and courage. It takes a lot of endurance. And there are so many highs and lows. I had to tell my neighbor the other day, because she's like, there's so much. It's just up and down, up and down. And I had to remind her, that's life. That's the heartbeat, up and down, up and down. Because if it were straight, it would be a flat line. There would be nothing. There would be no growth. There would be no loss to understand that there is a gain. There would be no down and out to realize that hope is a necessity. There would be no need to have faith. Because if you're not tested, then what does it matter? You're going to get what you want anyways. But that's not how life works. We're all taught you got to work for what you want. You got to work hard for what you want to achieve. If you want to be successful, you're going to have to grind and hustle, and you're going to have to put aside all of the gratifying things, that instantaneous way of being. Because the more that we sit in that instant gratification, the less that we're going to receive in regards to our abundance. I know this sounds wild and crazy, but that's life. That's life of somebody who dreams bigger. That's life for somebody who doesn't want to sit and do a 9 to 5 and just go to sleep permanently. That's someone like me wanting to build generational wealth. That's someone like me that's wanting to show the world that it can be a better place, because it was a better place. When you look at history and you see how things were, you can see where things can go. Oddly, we have, like I said earlier, digressed so much that it's hard to look at anything at this point and go, oh, it's worth fighting for. I've noticed the new generation, they don't want to work. They don't want to have kids. They can't afford the life in front of them. And they're just like, no, I'm good. They've given up before they've started. And a lot of that has to do because all of us adults are sitting in that instant gratification. We are not giving enough fight to the future to tell them, hey, you're worth fighting for. And it is because we ourselves don't feel like we can anymore. Because everyone's so quiet. Everyone just does what they're told. There is no more pushing back. And I've always asked, where did the freedom fighters go? Where are the ones that stood up and spoke the truth and pushed back at all costs, knowing that it could cost them the most valuable thing in themselves, which is their very essence? That they might take their last breath, but it would be worth the battle that ensued. For the rest of the world to wake up and go, I didn't notice that before. Because once you notice it, you can't unnotice it. But it takes freedom fighters to stand up and say, hey, this is all in love and light. This is all with a purpose. Everything you're doing outside of that is purposeless. And everything that is purposeless, it seems to be what is driving us into oblivion. So I'm just going to ask a real simple question. At what point is everybody going to choose to wake up? Because I'm tired of fighting alone. I'm tired of pushing back for it to come back. And it's because I'm in a bubble and I'm sitting here and I'm just like pumping it away from me. But the more I pump it away, the more that others are blowing it and bringing it back. So are you going to be positive today? Are you going to believe in yourself today? Are you going to push aside instant gratification? Are you going to hold your temper when something pushes and just provokes you to jump over the edge? Because the choice is yours. At what point are you going to choose to be greater? And honestly, this is one of those moments where I'm probably talking to myself and reminding myself, you got to do what's necessary, Sheena. You've got to do the one thing that you've been called to do that you keep avoiding. Because that's the easy part, avoiding. Until it's not. Because then the struggles of the reality of life are so in your face that you can't deny the need to get on your knees and pray. Don't wait till it's too late. Don't only pray when you have a problem. Pray and give gratitude on a regular basis, and you'll find that the more that you appreciate the abundance in your life right now, the more you're going to attract it, because we are magnets that attract all sorts of energy. What are you going to attract today? I'm going to stop asking questions and I'm going to just leave it on that note. Peace, love, and light.